Hi, my name is Ryan Cavanaugh, and I am one of the owners here at Brew Bank in Topeka, Kansas. We have an incredible community here that they're hooked. So what happens is you come to Brew Bank, and we have 26 beers on tap, and we really focus on the local Kansas breweries as much as we can, and then we move out. And being in the middle of the United States, it's really great because we get wonderful beer from both coasts, from north and south, and globally really. But we have a really nice melting pot of distributors and breweries. So we have incredible selection. And I think that's the part that has really surprised people. It certainly surprised me. When we realized that this was what we wanted to do and what we wanted to bring to Topeka, part of that was that we knew there were some places that you could go to get craft beer from Topeka. And those places also had the craft beer from around the country. But what we noticed were the places that were kind of out of the way in Kansas didn't have any local representation. And not everybody can drive to Wichita to try a beer. So we'll bring them here. And what we've done is really kind of, our vision was to have a place that you could come and tour the great breweries in Kansas and the great breweries in this country, and do it all without leaving Brew Bank. There was no way to do that in a traditional bar setting where we have a bartender and taps. Not only is this an insane amount of taps, but now we've got to have a bunch of staff, because how are you going to pour all of these beers for all the people? And that's where PourMyBeer just happened to fit perfectly with what we wanted to do. And the reason that it works so well in this community is in Kansas, this hasn't ever been, it never existed because it was illegal. We had to change the law to make it possible to enjoy PourMyBeer at Brew Bank. And it has been incredibly worthwhile. It has been the coolest thing in the world to have people come in and, you know, they're a little nervous. They don't know what this is, like a spaceship. Am I gonna get abducted? What's going on? So we have to bring everybody into this world of self-pour technology, because if you've never seen it, you have no idea. I didn't. I was like, wow, this is insane. And when you explain what the system is, what it does, what you can do as a guest, it's people get excited. A lot of people say, I won't drink anything but those big name yellow beers. And we don't have any of those. But we do have something close, so we'll start them there. And one in particular, a guy was like pouring his yellow lighter beer, and another person walked by with a stout, and they said, what is that? I said, that's a beer. What kind of beer? They had no idea that it existed. So it was really cool to walk them through that and see how they're now drinking a different beer. He loved it. He never had a stout. That's all he drank for the rest of the night. The next time he came in, he walked right past those and went right to the stouts and said, oh, that one's not here anymore. What else do you have? Well, you'll love this one. Yeah, he did. And it's one of those things where it's like educating everybody that comes in the door, and there's a passion here. And so when we do our orders, when we look at what we've got, what we want to have, we're thinking about our community all the time. And we use Untapped, so we'll put Fruity on from Belgium, and people will be here within 10 minutes with growlers, with, ready to have this beer. And it's, people call up, what's new today? What do you have up on tap? And what can we get that's exciting? And it's just like, we love it. We love that you can come here and drink a little bit, try a bunch of different beers. Having this system at my own disposal has made it impossible for me to go anywhere else to drink a beer, because it spoils you a little bit. Because it's incredible. You can try Yumpkin Pumpkin. I'm not gonna order that at a bar in a pint, because there's a good chance it's Dumpkin Pumpkin. I want it to be yum, so I'm gonna try an ounce, and I can do that here. I've never had a sour. I can try an ounce of that. I can try less than an ounce. It's ridiculous, the freedom that you have as a bar owner and as a guest of Brew Bank. Every time you come to Brew Bank, there are different beers on this beer. We rotate out all the time. And so not only is Pour My Beer perfect for that, because we can have a bunch of different beer. Just like you go to a restaurant, you expect a bunch of different varieties for food choices, menu items, whatsoever. So this is basically like kid in a candy store, but for grown-ups. And the candy it's real good. So we love having the option to provide our guests with such a huge variety of flavors, styles, and it's been something that keeps people coming in every day. And it's impossible really to do it any other way, because if you were a bartender, we could have 26 people pour a beer, 3, 2, 1, go. 26 people would have a beer. That would take 3 bartenders 15 minutes. For what we wanted to do, there was no other choice than Pour My Beer. And we went with Pour My Beer from the very beginning, and we opened 2 years ago, just in time for COVID. And now that we have kind of come through the other side of it, we are really, really grateful that we were able to stay in this community. And maybe to be a little bit braggadocious, our community is really glad that we're here too. We couldn't have imagined the impact it would have. It quickly went from something that was novel and new to the most sophisticated, most incredible. It is so dialed in as an owner, the waste is almost non-existent. As a guest, you don't buy that beer that you don't like because you're able to try it, every single one. So it is absolutely the coolest thing. When people come in and we say, you get to be your own bartender, they get excited. And there's nothing about this that isn't cool. Like, it's blinking and it's lit up and they're like, oh, it's so cool. We love the impact that Pour My Beer has had on us as owners and on our business and on our employees and in our community. We have cultivated a bunch of really amazing beer snobs. And we're proud of that because we only sell the best, and we only use the best to pour it out into what you serve yourself. Pour My Beer. If you live on Earth, I thought so. If you do, and for whatever reason you ever find yourself in Topeka, Kansas, and you are craving an amazing craft beer, and you just feel like you want a little bit, and you kind of want to get it yourself, come see us. We would love to let you pour your own beer at Brew Bank. 822 South Kansas Avenue, Topeka, Kansas, brewbanktopeka.com. Thanks.